Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Happy Saturday morning, everybody. Well, my goodness, the stories keep coming in, the trash talk and all kinds of stuff. We're going to cover it all. We have the royals. We have all kinds of stuff going on. We have the non-working royals, and we're going to discuss Tina Turner because she was somebody like the queen that you want to emulate. Let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start this morning with the Tower of London. They have opened up a new display that looks at the history of the crown jewels, the significance of the collection. If I was in the UK right now, I would go, so go and enjoy on my behalf. Moving on. Next up, we have the Duke of Kent. He's also Prince Edward. He went to view the Flying Scotsman. Apparently, it's the 100th anniversary of this train. It is considered to be the world's most famous steam engine. Very interesting. This train had 8 coaches and was fully operational and was completely booked out, sold out. I think that's just phenomenal. Now, you should know that the Duke of Kent is patron of the Kiley and Worth Valley Railroad Preservation Society after he went to visit them in 2008. This line apparently became very famous in 1970 because there was a film called The Railway Children. Very nice. All right, moving on. Next up, we have Princess Beatrice, who attended a launch dinner at the National Gallery. Everybody's just loving this dress that she bought. It's about $175 or 141 pounds. That's very affordable for most people. I think she looks lovely. All right, let's move on. Next up, we have Princess Anne, the Princess Royal. She arrived at the Liverpool parish for a private service. Now, after that, she opened the Garden of Reflection. This was built to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Atlantic. Now, this battle was considered to be one of the most important battles in World War II because you had Allied and Axis powers fighting for control of the ocean. So, this garden is at Our Lady and St. Nicholas Church near the pierhead. So there were a lot of VIPs there. You had Dennis Rose, you had Ken Benbow, you had local veterans of the battle were there, the Lord Lieutenant of Mayorside, the Right Honorable Ben Wallace was there, a lot of big people. Now, of course, Anne gave a fabulous speech. Her husband went with her. I loved her outfit. She cut a very impressive figure. I also love these like medallions that were put into the ground. I think they just look lovely. Once again, Anne is showing that she is one of the hardest working royals. They even had a fly pass during this service. Very, very, very nice. All right, moving on. Next up, the Duke of Edinburgh, Edward, was invited while he was in the Czech Republic to visit the spot of the last fight of the Czechoslovakian paratroopers, which is at the Church of St. Cyril and Methodius. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Next up, we have Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh. Some more details have come out from her trip to Iraq. Now, we know that the trip was unannounced for security reasons, but while she was there, she visited Baghdad. We know all this. She met children at the Qadiyya camp in Duhok. That's where she was wearing the white linen dress. Then they gave her a little bit of a cooking lesson from inside the camp. They were teaching her how to bake a specific dish. She also spent time with some of the sexual violence survivors. There's over 13,000 people in this camp. All right, moving on. Next up, we have Prince William, the Prince of Wales. He went to visit Queen's Park Rangers Stadium right at the 6th anniversary of the Grenfell Tower fire, the anniversary of that. He was given, while he was talking with the gentleman, a custom football shirt by some of the families and the bereaved, survivors. The shirt had the number 72 on the front for the victims who lost their lives, and a big green heart on it. Now, while he was there, he heard how the football club has been providing support since this horrible fire. And this tower fire was less than a mile from the QPR's ground in Shepherd's Bush, West London. Now, after that meeting, William sat down with some youth workers and some community workers who are funded by the trust, and they are helping with mentoring, mental health, and personal development for those who were affected by the fire. Now, there have been multiple football matches called Game 4 Grenfell. Recently, there was the Grenfell Memorial Cup. These people were also there to meet Prince William, and they've been involved in organizing and participating in these, and they discuss the impact of the fire on their lives, how football has helped, and what the future holds for them 6 years after the fire. And I just think that's lovely. All right, time to move on. All right, here we go. Prince Andrew. Now, he signed a lease on his property, the house. He's got another 80 years to go. But apparently the Crown at one point was giving money to help with the repairs, which they're not doing anymore. So the lease is in Andrew's name, so nobody can take that away from him. And it's a long lease. The problem is they're saying that the king can't take it from him, because the only way you can get him to move out would be through some sort of an arrangement that he would have to agree to. Now that we know that this battle has been going on for months, property is very expensive to maintain. Charles is trying to save taxpayer money. And again, there was an annual maintenance loan of £249,000 that was cut this year. So, they're saying that if Charles wants Andrew to play ball and help the family through these hard times, there has to be a better way to go about it. You need to sit down and talk and, figure out what they're going to do. The truth is, Andrew cannot afford the maintenance on the house. That's what it boils down to. He can't afford it. Now, it's being suggested that Charles may have personal reasons for wanting, Andrew out. I can't imagine what those would be, honestly, but I understand why he wants Andrew to move into Frogmore. Frogmore's been renovated, 6 bedrooms, 5,000 square feet. It doesn't need any work. Financially, it would probably be easier for Andrew, but Andrew doesn't want to leave his house. So I don't know what the end of this is going to be, but if Andrew wants to stay in the house, there's nothing Charles can do about it, and Andrew will just have to cough up the money to fix it up. That's all there is to it. All right, moving on. All right, some more information came out about Charles and Camilla's visit to Ireland, so let's touch on that. First of all, they helped children taking part in a kindness postbox initiative. They wrote letters to residents of local nursing homes. Those sunglasses that Charles was wearing, they were calling him the royal rock star. I mean, he was really rocking those glasses. Camilla's glasses looked really good on her too. Yeah, okay, they're styling. Now, I told you guys that, the king was going around and trying the different produce, but they met legendary and historical characters that were associated with the town that they were visiting during the second day. Those heads look really big, really heavy, and I bet they were really hot underneath. All right, let's move on to our other people. Before we talk about the other royals, I want to talk really quickly about Tina Turner. What you guys may not know is she literally was born in poverty. She was literally the girl from the cotton field, seriously. We know that she was repeatedly beaten and tortured by her ex-husband. She said she walked out, she never looked back. And when she walked away, she literally had 1 credit card and 36 cents in her pocket. And she said, "I felt strong." She turned down a chance to be in the movie The Color Purple, saying, quote, "I've lived down south in the cotton fields. I don't want to do anything that I've already done." She refused to be a victim. And this article says, and I'm now quoting, "What a lesson for today's culture and those women. A certain dissatisfied former royal comes to mind who solicit our pity, who whinge and moan. Not many people have asked if I'm okay, and who run to Oprah and Gayle King over the slightest emotional paper cut. Women like these are not fit to even sew on Tina's sequins." Tina Turner suffered, but you never heard her complain, and she has taught generations of women, don't give up, never give in, fight for what you want and what you deserve. That's a lesson others could learn. Next up, this article came out saying that Meghan Markle had the chance to be the next Princess Diana. I agree. If she had kept her mouth shut, done more than 72 things in, 2 years, she might have been. And next up, we all know that Gayle King is speaking out on Harry and Meghan's behalf, saying that we should be taking this seriously. And Piers Morgan is pointing out that her own credibility is being damaged because she's backing a losing horse. But again, I've told you before, it's Gayle, Oprah, Tyler Perry. Gayle, Oprah, Tyler Perry. Yeah, whatever. All right, next up, everybody wanted to know why Meghan didn't go to the Gracie Awards. I mean, she went all the way to New York for the other award. The Gracie Award took place in Beverly Hills. A quick little drive, in one of her chauffeured cars. So why didn't she go? Well, according to her people, she had prior commitments. I'm sorry, I don't believe that for a second. I think the world knows it's a joke. Harry lost his court case. Harry and Meghan made fools of themselves with this car chase scenario in New York. Their 5-year anniversary came and went. They didn't even put out a tweet about it. What does that tell you? So much for love wins. Moving on. All right, next up, the titles. Now, apparently it's coming out that Harry's title of the Duke of Sussex being pulled was apparently discussed at the highest level. We know the Parliament did some stuff with it. Well, do you remember when Harry sat down with Anderson Cooper during this big 60 minutes interview where he sounded paranoid? Okay, do you guys remember this?
Why not renounce your titles as Duke and Duchess?
And what difference would that make?
What does that tell you? Harry is so hypocritical. What difference would it make? Well, you're using those titles to slag off the royal family and make money. You're using those titles to sign deals. Look at me, I'm the royalty. I'm the Duke of Sussex. I'm Prince Harry. I'm the Duchess. I'm Duchess, of Sussex. But yet you don't see anything wrong with hanging on to those titles. Oh, well, we knew this was coming. Lady Colin Campbell has reported that Harry has spoken to divorce attorneys already months ago. Now, she's heard it from 5 different sources. And she said in the article, if there are real problems in the marriage, which we've all seen there do appear to be, Harry's going to have a hell of a time during a divorce. Because she set him up perfectly. He's already admitted to all this drug abuse, psychological problems, tons of therapy. I mean, forget it. He's going to lose. And people are saying, after he loses, Meghan's never going to let those kids out of the United States. Never. My God, she has so set him up. And he deserves it because he's a sucker. I'm telling you, everybody else can see it. Why can't he? All right, so of course, Finn and I were walking, and this time all the animals were out. The cow, the horses, their goats, and that one little tiny goat who I've been assured by the owner is full grown, was just crying. It was just breaking my heart. Watch this. Hi, cow. Hi, babies. I hear you crying. Oh, Finn. You can't go. I love this. Here's the horses. Oh. All right, come on, Finn. All right, you guys, you know what I want. Make those comments, leave them below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of uploads. If you've already hit that button, double check and make sure you are still subscribed. Don't forget to go into the description box to find the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email. There's also an actual address in case there's something that you want to send physically. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.